Welcome to Generation AI, the show where we explore how AI is reshaping our generation. I'm Derek Stahl. Nearly 2/3 of Americans now say they interact with AI several times a week, at least. But my guest today says most people are using AI wrong. She was named one of the Time's 100 most influential people in AI. She's taught AI workshops on all 7 continents. She previously served as the head of machine learning for startups and venture capital at Amazon Web Services. Now she's the founder and CEO of Open Machine, a company that helps businesses deploy AI. She's been an AI advisor to Fortune 500 companies, and she's worked with top labs like Google, Anthropic, and OpenAI. Please welcome Allie K. Miller. Allie, thanks for being on Generation AI.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here, and I'm excited to talk about everything that's happening.
I'm excited to talk to you because not only do I know you, I've known you for years now, but you are one of the leading voices in AI. I follow you on social media. I get your newsletter. You have so much insight to share. I think it's going to be really, really valuable for the audience. But let's start with that question. How do you think most people are getting it wrong when it comes to AI, and how are you using AI on a daily basis?
I think most people are still using it as a tool. We were using Google for 20 years, and we're used to seeing a blank line, typing in a search, getting an answer back, and moving on with our day. And a lot of people are still treating AI like that microtasker, but there are a lot of other ways to interact with AI. You can talk with AI live. You can walk around with a video at a museum or around, an international destination and get information on what you're seeing around you. You can use it as a delegate. You can give it multiple hours of work, and it can work on your behalf. You can even use it as a teammate or a support system for a group, like a family or even an entire department. So I think people are still treating it like a tool. And in my mind, that is a self-limiting definition that is putting it in the Google bucket when it should be in an entirely different bucket. We're in a paradigm shift. I mean, I use it every single day. I'm happy to give some examples, but it has changed the way that I live and work.
Yeah, and I want to show on the screen some of your personal favorite tools, models, AI systems, just to give people a sense that you are using all sorts of different things. But just kind of walk me through a day. I mean, you wake up and you're like talking to AI all the time, right?
Yeah, I think one very easy way of getting started with AI is to open up one of these live conversation options in ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever your favorite AI tool is, and just have a conversation about your day, about a problem, talk back and forth for 10 minutes. It can feel very awkward for the first couple of days, and then you'll find that you are working through a problem, you're getting toward that solution. That's a super easy way to get started. I think for the most part, people can just pick one tool and really dive deep there. If you're really trying to maximize it, that's when you might want to lean into multiple tools. My team uses 37 AI tools.
Wow.
Obviously some for tiny little things that maybe only happen once a month, but they're very important, and some every day. I'm happy to give you some personal examples. So I use it, I kind of think about AI in 3 different categories for how it's helping me. The first is a daily helper, a daily doer. The second is for overall betterment. And then the third is for building. So as a daily doer, every single morning, I get a morning briefing for my entire day. And it's not just summarizing my calendar. It's looking at my calendar. It's looking at the day ahead. It's flagging, hey, you actually have a really early morning the next day. So you might want to make sure that you lay off the caffeine after 10 a.m. It's also comparing that to previous weeks, right? So a hard week followed by some easy weeks might be more tolerable. And it is able to be a much smarter debrief. It's also giving me AI research. It's looking at different stocks that I want to monitor on a daily basis, and all of that comes in together.
Wow.
So that's on the daily side. And even just as a daily doer, I still use it for microtasking. I'm in Australia at the moment, and I couldn't figure out which medicine was the right one because everything has a different name. I took a photo of the entire shelf, and I asked Claude, I said, which of these is going to be the right medicine for, whatever I needed? And it is able to look at each of these labels. It is able to research on the web to find that up-to-date information, and it was able to give it back. The second category is betterment. I'll give an example here. I think so much can be done in health and finance, personal health and personal finance. Obviously, there are heightened risks here, but one example, I have a Bluetooth scale that not just, tracks weight, even though it's nice, but like it tracks muscle, it tracks skeletal muscle percentage and the percent of water that I have in my body. And I was able to screenshot all of the graphs from the last year that this scale had. And all I did was take 14 screenshots of every single data point that I got, uploaded it into AI. You could do ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, doesn't matter. You can upload it and say, can you go ahead, graph all of this for me, give me additional insights, tell me what I'm not, taking advantage of, tell me what I can do to be healthier in 2026, give me exact tools or vitamins or whatever that I can take. And it told me, you're horrible at hydration, surprise, surprise. And so
Aren't we
now
all?
I'm building out a tracker. Yeah, of course, for hydration, for drinking more water, and also for reducing caffeine. I mean, these are things that anyone, not just engineers, can build out because of how good these tools have gotten. Literally, in the last 2 months, the quality of AI coding just to build a solution, not necessarily to become a software engineer, has completely changed. We have software engineers that used to write 80% of their code manually. They are now sharing that 100% of the code or 80% of the code is written by AI.
Wow.
That shift really only happened in the last couple months, and everyone can take advantage of this.
Yeah, I mean, we're really entering a new era, and that's why I think it's so important to really highlight the skills and capabilities that are out there, because if folks haven't been paying attention to AI in the last 6 to 8 to 12 months, they really are well behind of the cutting edge. But I know you mentioned off the top, there are so many different ways people can use AI, but one of the most common ways people still use it is to help help rewrite things. And so I want you to help us level up our AI skills right now, Allie. You write in a great newsletter. It's called AI with Allie. And I know you use AI writing tools to help write it. At the same time, I have known you, as I shared for years, we were in the same high school together. We had the same math class. So I know how your voice sounds. I know your turns of phrase and things like that. And the newsletter really, really sounds like you. So how can people help turn AIs into writing machines that can really actually sound like they do?
So language generation, definitely one of the more popular use cases. And even though it is a beginner use case, there are a lot of advanced tricks that you can try out to be able to kind of dive deep into it. So I'll give you a few examples. First, the models have gotten a lot better. If you tried to have AI write like you 2 years ago and you haven't tried it since, please try it now, because it used to be only, it could mimic maybe 30 to 50% of my turns of phrases. Now it's 85 to 93%. I mean, it's just night and day with how much it can help. The other thing is that I don't necessarily use it for the most critical writing or the most emotive writing or writing that I need a lot of empathy for, but I might use it to help scale my writing. So I might film an Instagram reel and post it, or I might have a call with a client and record that transcript. And so maybe the follow-up email with action items, does that need the expertise? Maybe not. And so I can have AI help there. Or with Instagram, maybe the caption is written by AI, or translations into multiple languages can be written with AI. So it's a lot about scaling. The two tips that I would give for people who are using AI to improve their writing: examples and interview. You can find examples of your writing. You can go into your Gmail account to see what emails you've recently sent. You can screenshot recent text that you've sent. And you can literally just upload these screenshots. You don't have to fancy prompt. You don't have to write some page-long thing. You just say, here are my tweets, write like me, and just get a sense for how good it is. But give it examples. And the second that so many people forget, and I use this for everything, not just writing, I very often will come to these AI tools with a goal. I will say, I want to accomplish X, or I'm having problems with Y. Ask me questions until you feel confident enough to really help me problem solve. And so for writing, you might say, ask me questions to be able to mimic my writing as much as possible.
I love
or to
that.
give me ideas about what else I can write. And the idea that not only can you be in an interview, I'm using voice AI dozens of times a day. I have this entire conversation while I'm on a walk. Like, I am not bogged down at my computer anymore. I have never exercised so much I am weightlifting while talking to AI. All of these interaction modes, all these capabilities, live interviews, that's possible because of AI today.
I love that. And right now we're showing some clips from a product called Whisper. I think it's called Whisper API. There's different ways of spelling Whisper. There's some different products out there, but I know that's one that you use, and you can basically install that on your phone and on your laptop, and just sort of press a button, and it'll, translate it, transcribe it for you.
Yeah, I think we're all used to dictating to Siri and it gets like every second word wrong.
Yeah.
The tools today are not like that at all. Inside of ChatGPT, you can just press the microphone button and you can dictate to it for several minutes. You can just rant and ramble. And that's why you can get more out of it. It feels, a lot easier to share more context on a problem. And so then AI has an easier time helping you with it. So ChatGPT and other providers have built-in dictation, or if you're trying to use it across apps, I use a tool called Whisperflow. There are a lot of others out there like Otter AI and Super Whisper. But just to describe to you how easy this is, I am on my computer. I might jump into email. I might jump into, a customer support email that I have to reply to. I just hold down the function key. I hold down the function key, I talk, and then I move my cursor, hold down the function key, talk. I coded an entire app in virtual reality while laying on my couch because I could do the whole thing via voice. So all these tools, they're good enough on voice transcriptions, even if it gets a couple words wrong here and there. They're all good enough to be able to dictate for minutes, for an hour about a big project you want to take on, a big trip you want your family to go on, a new, house search that you're looking for and you want to find the exact thing. All of that can be dictated, and I think people are going to find it to be more natural.
Yeah, and it's just going to be a force multiplier, I think, for a lot of people, because it's just so much faster than typing.
4 times
Stay
faster.
right here, Allie. Stay right here, audience. We've got much more coming up, because we have to talk about agents. Everyone is talking about these AI agents right now. Claude Code, Claude Cowork. What are these things? What can you build with them? We're going to explore all that on Generation AI next. Welcome back to Generation AI. We're back with Allie K. Miller, one of Time's 100 most influential people in AI. Allie, it seems like everybody over the last couple of months has been talking about AI agents. These are AI systems that can kind of go off and do tasks on their own without a lot of human prompting or input. And one of them that's just exploded recently is called Claude Code. Can you talk us through what Claude Code is and what it can do?
So 2025 was the year of AI agents. We started to see agentic browsers like Google Chrome, but Google Chrome where an AI can do something for you. We started to see coding like Claude Code or Codex from OpenAI or Google's anti-gravity. And these are spaces where you can come to it with a prompt, with an ask, but it can also connect into tools and take action for you. So there are people using it to make restaurant reservations, people using it to book all their travel, people using it to reply to all their emails, people using it to build certain tools, run certain workflows, have an entire schedule for them. So the use cases are infinite. But one thing that I love about Claude Code, Claude Cowork, and a lot of these tools is the ability to have multi-threaded things. We've been stuck in this single chat thread land where people are just asking ChatGPT a question, getting an answer back, and then the next day coming back, asking, getting it back. We are moving into a space where AI is going to have a lot more context and memory on us, and it is going to be able to take a lot more action. It's going to have a lot more autonomy. And most importantly, for any AI user, it is going to start prompting us. This is one of the bigger shifts that's going to come in 2026. For the last 3 years with generative AI, we have come into these systems and said, hey, can you write this email? Hey, can you make me a meal plan that's gluten-free? Hey, can you, find me 5 jobs in Arizona? That is what we've been doing it for. And now we are moving into a space where AI is going to say, hey, I actually just noticed that a lot of your call transcripts with clients are getting really angry. You want me to book you a vacation? Right? I already found this hotel in Maine. Do you want to go have fun? Like, that is what we're going to see because of the ability to take action and the ability to remember things about you.
I love that. I know that's one of your big predictions for 2026 and what's to come. And some of your predictions have actually already come true, it seems like. But on Claude Code, I am not an advanced computer user, but I downloaded it at your suggestion. I installed it. I've been playing with it for the last week or so. I coded my own personal website. This morning, I coded my own guest booking and scheduling, micromanaging, customer relationship management tool thing. I mean, it's so cool. It almost feels like waking up one day and discovering you're Harry Potter and you have magical wizarding powers and you can just go out and build things anything you can imagine you can build.
It is one of the more overwhelming feelings in AI right now, is that for the last several decades, we used to just complain and then we didn't have to fix our problems. We could complain that that product wasn't right for us. We could complain that we never knew when the bus was going to show up. We could complain about these things. But now the responsibility is on you and your creativity to say, oh my God, I used to complain about this thing, but now I can try and solve it. So a lot of people, I would recommend starting with building tracker sort of sites. So if you're trying to track your water intake, you're trying to track your exercise, you're trying to reduce smoking, right? All of these things, you can build out a tracker site that is just for you. I built out an entire dynamic packing list to help me with my excessive amounts of travel. You can also grab your entire electricity bills, right? Your energy bills, and put them in and say, graph this for me. Make me a dynamic visualization. Help me figure out where my energy spend is going. Help me figure out how to improve it. Research solar power things for me. Book me a demo for a solar power company. That is the level of agentic work that you can get done today. And what I would push people to do is to download the 5-minute quick start guides that I put out, or go and find YouTube videos or whatever it is to get started on these things.
Yes.
You can get started in 5 minutes on any of these platforms. And number two, to see it as a source of agency and to lean in, even if you're not an engineer, even if you've never used one of these tools before. It is so possible that it can feel overwhelming. But again, build a tracker website, build a personal website. I love those two examples.
Yeah, it does seem kind of scary because Claude Code lives in the command line terminal. It feels like a box that only an engineer should touch, but people all over the country are beginning to go in there and build amazing things. And it's a skill I think that's really important. And I want to talk to you briefly about the future of work and of jobs in general. Take a look at this study we have there. This is a study by Brookings that looked at which jobs are most exposed or at risk from AI and how many of those workers are in a good position to adapt to something else. And they found about 6 million workers are in the bottom right-hand box over here. That means they are most exposed or at risk from AI and least able to adapt. And they're jobs like office clerks, receptionists, shipping and receiving and inventory clerks, people who do translation work, things like that. And what's interesting is that they found that 86% of the workers in that category that are most at risk from AI, least able to adapt, are women. And I know this is a topic that you speak a lot about all over the world, Ali. What is your message on upskilling right now at the time we're in?
First thing that I believe is that anyone can learn this. Just like, Ratatouille, anyone can cook. I believe that any single person can become an AI super user. That is the thing that I want everyone to hear, even if your job was in the most bottom right quadrant. That is number one. Number two is every single job is going to be impacted by AI. I've looked at all those lists. Usually the least impacted are like phlebotomists that are taking blood samples. Every single person is going to be impacted by AI, even the phlebotomists of the world. And again, the kind of third thing that I would be thinking about is there will be some people who adapt by using AI in their job, and they become more of, say, a manager of agents and a manager of that process, or they take on more outcome-based work rather than the task itself. That is one big shift. The second, which if you are in that bottom right quadrant, you might be in a situation for a career pivot, particularly for things like translation, where AI can manage that very, very well. For those people, again, going back to the tip we shared about AI interviews, have a back and forth interview with AI. Talk to it for 30 minutes or an hour about all of your strengths, all your weaknesses, things you like about your job, things you hate, things you wish you could do, places you wish you could live, all of that and say, listen, I'm a translator. I'm really worried about my job. Give me 10 other jobs that I could do, rank them in order of easiest to hardest. Tell me exactly what classes I can take or certifications. Tell me how I can use AI in those roles. That sort of betterment, that sort of shift is possible. The difference between quadrants, I get it. There are different roles that are going to have outsized impacts in the short term. But the much bigger, if I take 10 steps back, the much bigger thing to realize is that there will be some people who are surface users of AI and they just treat it like Google. And there's going to be some people that are super users and are able to use it for this life transformation or job transformation to be able to manage any amount of change.
Yes, and the goal isn't to spook folks, it's to empower folks, and you're giving them great skills, Allie. Everybody needs to stay right here. We've got more coming up after the break with Allie K. Miller, one of Time's 100 most influential people in AI. We're going to be getting some more of Allie's predictions for 2026. Stay with us. Welcome back to Generation AI. We're talking with Allie K. Miller, one of Time's 100 most influential people in AI. Throughout this episode, Allie has been giving us some of her predictions for 2026, including that AI will be prompting us, not the other way around. She's also predicting the rise of the super user. But Allie, I want to get into a couple of fun ones and kind of a lightning round here. I know you were at a CES this year, all sorts of tech out there, and they have these humanoid robots all over the place. Why aren't these things out in homes yet? What is going on with these things?
We've seen AI robots trying to do dishes and laundry for the last 10 years. My lightning round answer is I don't think 2026 is the year. I think it's 2027, mostly because we don't have as much data as we do in the language space.
Yeah, and is it because it's just harder to train what they call these world models? You can't really train an LLM or a robot the same way, right?
It's a lot of the same methods. It's just the type of data that we might have. So 3D is very difficult. Spatial is very difficult versus traditional language. There's like a hierarchy of difficulty. Language, then usually images, then video, then 3D and spatial. So that's very often the progression that we see. We have maybe tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of data points for humanoid robots. These LLMs that we're using every single day, we're trained with trillions of data points. So we have more than 1,000,000x data points in language than we do for humanoid robots.
Wow. Okay, that's unreal. I mean, the other thing that I hear folks at some of these major conferences talk about is when will we get AGI, that's, artificial intelligence that's essentially as smart as a human, can do all the human tasks. What do you fall on that line of things?
Some people would say we are already there. I think particularly with Claude Code, with Claude Opus 4.5, there are a lot of people that are making that claim, not just fringe minority. I think the bigger thing is, we have to ask ourselves what happens when AGI or when that level of intelligence happens, and how fast is the impact. So I think whether or not it is level 4 or level 5 AGI, there will be economic impacts. My hope is that people aren't waiting for this light switch to go off and say, okay, now we have to worry about it. I want people to start testing out these tools now, getting a sense for what it can do well, what it can't do, what is responsible use, what do you feel comfortable doing, where do you want to give it control or not, and not wait for this binary switch. But some people would say we're there.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. The message is to prepare now, get ready, get comfortable with this. AI is not going anywhere. You need to upskill now. Last question in the lightning round, Allie Miller, has to do with AI toys. At CES, there were all of these AI gizmos and gadgets and stuff things and whatever. Where do you fall on AI toys and giving them to kids?
I'm mostly against that for now. I'll be blunt. I think if you're able to have a local model, that is one thing that is helpful for data privacy. But if I were a parent and giving this, I would not feel comfortable having my child play with this AI toy on their own. I would really want to watch and see what sort of language the toy was outputting. We've also seen over-reliance on AI tools. And I think, I want people to have more human connection. I want people to socialize in the real world. I want people to make friends and have human teachers. And that is what I want in this world. So I'm naturally going to be a bit more against this, but I'm also very pro AI desk companions for work. there's a weird trade-off that's happening. CEF
Desk
have
companions,
a lot
what?
of these.
It's like
Yeah,
Alexa
think of it
on
as
your
like,
desk?
yeah, and there's like holographic avatars from Razer coming out, or there
What?
was a little Japanese Furby looking thing that can help you with your work and tap in, and you can speak to
Wow.
it as if it is Claude Code. So there's a spectrum of all of these things. I think for children in particular, there's higher risk. As adults, we hopefully have better judgment and can practice responsible AI.
Well, Ali Miller, thank you so much for joining us today on Generation AI. So much good insight, so many good pieces of advice there. We appreciate you on the broadcast today. Thanks for watching Generation AI. We'll be back with another episode next week.